All right, Trojans, this is my second take of doing this damn video, which pisses me off. I need a new camera, I swear to God. I had a very emotional morning this morning, in a good way. It was very spiritual. But I'm here to talk about MVP leaving TNA. This video won't be as good as my last one, but just hear me out, please. All right, I'm in the study room right now because my house is being cleaned. So yeah, MVP apparently left TNA. He was the one that convinced TNA to pick up Hernandez, despite Hernandez supposedly being under contract with Lucha Underground. You know, this sucks. MVP was one of the top stars in TNA. He was one of my favorite characters there his whole time over there. I got lockdown tickets last year for my birthday, and I mainly went to see MVP. It was Magnus, Jeff Hardy, though I didn't know Jeff Hardy was going to come back as Willow, and MVP. MVP was the main guy I wanted to see, and that show ended with him winning. It was his team versus Team Dixie in Lethal Lockdown, where Bully Ray turned face. Great show. I had a good time over there. He was like the investor storyline. That's who he was. He was the investor that signed the Wolves to TNA. It was intriguing. And then he came in like in the United Kingdom on an episode of Impact. I thought the investor was going to be either Jeff Jarrett, Toby Keith, or Billy Corgan. But it was MVP in UK. And it was interesting. It was like one of the most interesting angles, in my opinion, that they did. And MVP, he's not a former TNA champion, but he should be one because he turned heel after that, and he went after Eric Young. And he was supposed to face Eric Young for the title at Slammiversary and win. But he got hurt, so he got replaced with Bobby Lashley. So that entire year that Bobby Lashley was like the dominant heel champion, it was supposed to be MVP as the champion beating everybody. And the main draw for that New York show was supposed to be Jeff Hardy versus MVP, not Jeff and Lashley. But that's what they ended up doing. He was supposed to be the heel champion of TNA, leading Kenny King and Bobby Lashley. And then I guess he was supposed to lose to Bobby Roode, the man that he fired or suspended months before that, before he revealed his plan that he was investing TNA, but he planned on like taking it over. He suspended Bobby Roode. That's who it was, Bobby Roode. And then he was supposed to like be the champion as long as Lashley was, and then eventually lose to Bobby Roode, but at Bound for Glory before they moved it to Japan. But that's what they did. They had Lashley do it, and Lashley was dominant. And it was a good run because MVP was still the manager. He was the manager of Lashley. He was the mic worker, while Kenny King was like the guy that he did the crazy spots, and he also took the pinfalls. And Lashley was the undefeated champion. MVP was always one of my favorite characters in TNA. His time there, like I said, he was one of the three top heels in my opinion. The top heels for this past year of wrestling, in my opinion, were all in TNA. It was Ethan Carter III, EC3, Eric Young, and MVP. Those three guys. And then he was still my favorite character because in the beginning of the year, he formed the Beatdown Clan, the BDC. And it was a great way to start the year because it was interesting. I expected a lot more for the BDC than what ended up happening with them. I thought they were supposed to be like a ghetto dominant version of Aces and Eights. It was a big group. It was and it was a group of real life friends too. MVP, Kenny King, Lashley, Samoa Joe, Loki, Eric Young. And then they had Homicide join them, then Hernandez. And they feuded with the Rising. And they disbanded the Rising too. The heel group actually won the feud. MVP recently, like, he used to be very happy on Twitter about working with TNA. He was excited when he came in. He was excited to go to his home state, Miami, Florida. He was excited to go to Japan, and even with this BDC angle, he was excited. He would put on Twitter, "We're inspired by Money, Power, and Respect," because he likes that song, Money, Power, and Respect. And then the Wu-Tang Clan, he's also a fan of them. He said, "BDC, we're inspired by the Wu-Tang Clan, and we're real-life friends in real life. Loki, Kenny King, Samoa Joe, and Homicide. They were friends in real life. So that's why they clicked so well together." But then recently, ever since Meltzer made his report, MVP and a few others shut it down. But like people like James Storm, they were professional about it. Even after MVP shot it down, but then he started getting pissed. He was lashing out at Dave Meltzer, and then when the companies weren't giving him answers, he was getting mad. He was like saying, "I'm mad at my own company. I'm taking indie bookings right now." He was upset, and yeah, there was a lot. He was an asset to the TNA because he did a lot that like others didn't. Like he sang his own music. He's a rapper. He's a good rapper too. He recently had a new song come out on his YouTube channel. Um, and because of the whole thing with Hernandez, TNA was forced to edit out all the clips with him and Hernandez. So he got frustrated, I guess, and he left. So now Hernandez is gone, MVP is gone, and it's safe to say that the BDC is dead. Um, I don't know what to say about that. It seemed like in the spoilers that what was supposed to happen was the Wolves were supposed to face the Beatdown Clan. Thank God the Beatdown Clan didn't win for the titles. They lost and the Wolves retained. Then there was supposed to be like a storyline where there was dissension. Kenny King and Hernandez like not getting along, and MVP was supposed to like try to patch them up together. But I guess that's not happening because now all the clips for the next month and a half are going to be edited out by old clips. Maybe MVP will go back to CCW, which is my local Fed. They're having a show here in 3 weeks or whatever, so he might show up. Maybe he'll go back to New Japan. He had a following over there, or maybe he'll go to Global Force. I don't really see him in WWE. He'll be missed though. Sucks that he left. It's real bad. Now there was a rant that was posted by Gene Carlos where he talked about the state of the company and all these cuts are being made. Even last year when it was announced that Spike was pulling the plug on them, they were still doing good, and they also had a new channel that picked them up. It looked like 2015 things were looking good for TNA, but they it's the opposite. Like they're going down. People are leaving. Even people that you never thought would leave are leaving. People are not getting paid. Christopher Daniels even said in a shoot interview that when he was working for TNA, he tried to get paid before the holidays, and he ended up getting paid like 3 months after Christmas. I don't know what's going on with this craziness. I hope that they get their shit together. I'm scared to find out what's going on. Like every time I read something about them, it's always something bad, and that's not good. And now one of your biggest stars, MVP, is gone because he couldn't handle it anymore. The mismanagement is that bad. People feel like if they're staying in the company, they have no direction because they don't know where the company is going up, down, staying the same. They don't know if they're going to have a job tomorrow or in a couple months. They don't know. That's why everybody's going to Global Force because they think it's a fresh start. But yeah, I just hope things get better for this company because wrestling needs TNA. Like it can't die. It can't go away. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It was rushed because my first take of this was better, and I didn't want to run out of time. So yeah, I wish MVP the best, and I hope he goes work somewhere where he'll be happy and continues his music rap career. And as far as TNA, please get your heads out of your asses and get better, please, because we need it. Thank you guys for watching this. Later.